These days, people expect access to information anytime, anywhere, from any device. Cloud computing and mobile devices have helped make this possible, but the networks that keep everything connected are growing and becoming increasingly complex, especially to manage. There are two primary types of networks. There is a local area network, LAN for short, and a wide area network, called a WAN. LANs connect the devices inside of your office together, while WANs connect your office to others around the world. Without the WAN, it would be like not having internet access. Sure, all of the things inside the business could talk with each other, but not with the outside world. Recently, a new technology has emerged called SD-WAN. It's the next generation of WANs and an important step in the evolution of networking. The SD in SD-WAN stands for software defined. While SD is not an entirely new concept, it has become an important focus, especially as it relates to infrastructure and networking. It really boils down to using software to make IT work smarter, faster, and at lower cost. Essentially, SD-WAN is a better way to build and manage long-distance networks. But why? How does it work? What makes it better? Let's take a closer look. Traditional WANs are made up of tens, hundreds, or thousands of routers that talk to each other over long distances. Within each router, there's a data plane and a control plane. The data plane holds the information that is being sent or received, the data, while the control plane determines where that data should go. Sounds simple enough. However, someone needs to program the control plane with rules on how to handle network traffic on the data plane. This is typically done by entering a series of commands into each router's command line interface, or CLI, by a network administrator. This can be a very manual, time-consuming, and error-prone process. Take, for example, a large retail store chain with 500 locations around the world that needs to deploy a new video application. Let's assume that each store location has a router that requires 10 commands to implement the correct configurations for the application. With 500 sites, that's 5,000 commands. If each command takes 30 seconds to execute, that adds up to over 40 hours, or a week just to deploy a single application to all the locations. And the CLI can be cumbersome and error-prone. Imagine making a mistake on one of those commands and having to hunt down that error or troubleshoot the application. Personnel and IT resources would be impacted. It could paralyze a business. Network pros try to overcome this problem by developing programming tools and scripts to automate changes. However, these tools and procedures add more layers of complexity, as well as even more CLI commands with more variables that could compound existing problems. With SD-WAN, the previous process is greatly simplified. For starters, parts of the control plane are centralized. That way, changes to the control plane can be grouped and simultaneously and easily managed across the entire WAN, using business-defined rules and, most importantly, from a central management portal. This added simplicity makes it easier to take advantage of broadband internet connections instead of relying solely on expensive private MPLS networks, which lowers costs and increases performance. Want all of your business-critical apps to take a private MPLS network between locations? Easily define that. Are social media apps sucking away the productivity of your workers? Set a lower priority or block them altogether via a rule. And once rules or policies are set, they can be automatically distributed and implemented across your organization in seconds. So, with SD-WAN, configuring new or existing networking infrastructure is much easier than the old way of fragile command lines and manual updates. Here are the 3 main points you should remember about SD-WAN. It increases agility by simplifying network policy configuration and management. It provides higher performance by intelligently leveraging multiple paths, including broadband connections. And together, these lower IT operational costs. Setting up and managing your WAN has never been better or easier, provided it's software defined.